Israel had 20 kings, but almost none of them kept power peacefully. Some were legendary heroes, some were ruthless conquerors, and some ruled for only a few days before being assassinated. From David the giant slayer to Ahab and the prophets to the final king who watched his kingdom fall to a superpower, this is the dramatic story of every king of Israel explained. Saul was the first king of Israel, chosen during a time when the tribes wanted a ruler like the surrounding nations. He came from the tribe of Benjamin and was known for his tall stature and early military success against Israel's enemies. Over time, his reign became troubled by disobedience and conflict with the prophet Samuel. Saul's leadership ended tragically after a defeat against the Philistines, marking the close of Israel's first monarchy. David succeeded Saul and became one of Israel's most influential kings. Originally a shepherd and musician, he rose to fame after defeating the giant Goliath. As king, he united the tribes of Israel, captured Jerusalem, and made it the political and spiritual center of the nation. David is remembered for both his deep faith and his personal failures, but his dynasty became central to Israel's identity and later messianic expectations. Solomon, the son of David, inherited the throne and ruled during a period of peace and prosperity. He became famous for his wisdom, wealth, and large building projects. His most significant achievement was constructing the first temple in Jerusalem, which became the center of Israelite worship. Despite his wisdom, his later years were marked by heavy taxation and religious compromises, which contributed to the kingdom splitting after his death. Jeroboam I became the first king of the northern kingdom of Israel after the united monarchy divided. He had previously served under Solomon, but later led a revolt that formed the new kingdom. To prevent his people from traveling to Jerusalem in the southern kingdom of Judah, he established alternative worship centers with golden calves. These actions shaped the religious direction of the northern kingdom and were widely criticized by later biblical writers. Nadab was the son of Jeroboam I and ruled Israel briefly. His reign lasted only about 2 years before he was assassinated during a military campaign. His death ended Jeroboam's family line on the throne and began a pattern of political instability in the northern kingdom. Baasha seized power after assassinating Nadab and eliminating the rest of Jeroboam's family line. He ruled for over 2 decades and strengthened Israel's position in conflicts with Judah. Despite his political success, prophetic voices criticized him for continuing the religious practices introduced by Jeroboam. Elah, the son of Baasha, ruled Israel for a short time. His reign ended suddenly when one of his military officials conspired against him. While he was drinking in a palace residence, he was assassinated, leading to another violent transfer of power. Zimri briefly took the throne after killing Elah, but his reign lasted only a week. When the army learned of the assassination, they rejected Zimri and proclaimed their commander Omri as king. As Omri's forces surrounded the capital, Zimri burned the palace around himself and died, making his reign the shortest in Israel's history. Omri eventually secured the throne after a struggle for power. He founded a new capital city called Samaria, which became the political center of the northern kingdom for generations. Omri established a strong dynasty and improved Israel's international standing, though biblical writers focused on his continuation of earlier religious practices. Ahab, the son of Omri, is one of the most well-known kings of Israel. His reign included economic growth and political alliances, but it also brought intense religious conflict. His marriage to Jezebel introduced strong support for the worship of Baal, leading to dramatic confrontations with the prophet Elijah. Ahab's life ended during a battle, fulfilling a prophetic warning about his rule. Ahaziah, the son of Ahab, ruled for a short period after his father's death. His reign was marked by political weakness and continued conflict with surrounding nations. After suffering a severe fall in his palace, he sought guidance from a foreign deity rather than Israel's God, which became a key moment in the prophetic narrative about his rule. Joram, another son of Ahab, became king after Ahaziah's death. He attempted to stabilize the kingdom and led military campaigns against neighboring states. His reign ended violently when the military commander Jehu launched a revolt and killed him during a dramatic confrontation. Jehu seized power through a sweeping rebellion that eliminated the house of Ahab. He carried out a violent purge of rival leaders and strongly opposed the worship of Baal in Israel. Although he restored certain religious practices, he continued earlier traditions that prophets had criticized, leaving the kingdom's spiritual direction largely unchanged. Jehoahaz, the son of Jehu, ruled during a difficult time for Israel. The kingdom faced repeated military pressure from the powerful Aramean forces to the north. His reign saw Israel weakened, though the nation eventually found partial relief after years of struggle. Jehoash, also called Joash, followed his father Jehoahaz on the throne. During his reign, Israel regained some strength and achieved victories against Aram. He also interacted with the prophet Elijah during the final days of his prophet's life. Jeroboam II presided over one of the most prosperous periods of the northern kingdom's history. Israel expanded her borders and experienced economic growth. Despite this success, prophets like Amos and Hosea warned that social injustice and religious corruption were growing beneath the surface. Zechariah, the son of Jeroboam II, ruled only briefly. His assassination ended the dynasty that had begun with Jehu several generations earlier. His death marked another turning point in Israel's increasingly unstable political environment. Shallum took power after killing Zechariah, but ruled for only a month. His brief reign ended when another military leader overthrew him. This rapid succession of rulers reflected the growing instability within the kingdom. Menahem secured the throne after defeating Shallum and ruled for about a decade. He maintained his position partly by paying tribute to the powerful Assyrian Empire. This decision helped him stay in power, but signaled Israel's growing dependence on foreign powers. Pekahiah, the son of Menahem, inherited the throne but ruled only briefly. One of his military officials, Pekah, led a conspiracy and assassinated him inside the royal palace, continuing the pattern of violent political change. Pekah ruled during a time when regional politics were shifting rapidly. He formed alliances against the expanding Assyrian Empire and became involved in conflicts with Judah. His reign eventually ended when another conspirator assassinated him during a period of intense political pressure. Hosea was the final king of the northern kingdom of Israel. He ruled as Assyria grew increasingly dominant in the region. After attempting to break free from Assyrian control, he was defeated, and the Assyrian Empire captured Samaria. This event led to the fall of the northern kingdom and the exile of many of its people.